We're good.
Hi. And welcome to
guys.
Kamen Rider Corner.
Are we live?
We're live.
We're live!
That's why I was like...
That's what I meant when I said we're good.
Hi.
Oh, okay.
Welcome to Kamen Rider Corner.
Here on Pulp Culture Renegades. I don't have to notice it, but...
Hello.
I know. I'm sorry. Awkward start. Let's
I'm
go.
trying to make this as like awkward as possible, but it's just
You're
not working.
succeeding.
Yes.
Did you want me to take off my shirt? That would
That
make it pretty
that
awkward,
would
I feel
absolutely
like.
That would be beautiful.
That would absolutely push it to that point.
People would love that. The children would rejoice.
If you would like to see JD's
children
shirt
would
come
rejoice.
off, please leave a comment.
Or run in terror.
Alright, so welcome to Kamen Rider Corner, guys. My name is Darrel. Let's go down the line again. Who is everyone here?
I am Jimmy. I do graphic stuff, and I am on this podcast.
Back to me again. I'm Darrel. I am on that hashtag show. I'm a voice actor, and I like these things. Well, not this thing. I don't like any of these things actually. That's disgusting. But yeah.
Hi, I'm Justin Keyson. I'm a podcaster, independent filmmaker, and also I like toys as well.
I like toys. I don't like these.
I
don't like these ones.
These toys are fantastic. I mean, maybe not this toy. But
You can tell who brought these, I think. Maybe.
I think if
I
you're
don't- I
watching,
don't-
if you're watching
I don't know
last
who brought
week,
these.
Yeah. So I'm JD, and I'm just producer. And we don't know who this guy is. This guy just likes to crash the
Stranger danger.
stream live.
We have a few comments.
I like how you were just like, yeah, the stream that's live right now.
if you're wondering where the pops are, they're right behind us.
Sir. So we have a few people in the chat, though.
Yes,
we have
sir.
Mars Girl. She came back.
Hi, how are
Good
you?
to see you
Welcome back.
guys again. Good to see you too. We also have Ryan Super Zero for Steel Speed Thomas.
No, you have to say that faster now. Go.
Ryan Super Zero Thomas. Hey guys.
I'm next. That could have been better.
Do it better.
Right, Super 04 Speed Thomas.
D stuttered.
No, I
You stuttered. It's okay. It's okay. So hi guys. Thank you guys.
We
for
also
joining
have
us.
on the show.
Yeah, I introduced myself a little bit, but yeah, I'm JD. Yeah, I like toys.
I like
fun.
toys.
Toys are fantastic.
So, let's explain the elephant in the room.
I don't see any elephants.
Why you gotta talk about me like while I'm right?
No, not you.
This is a state-of-the-art gaming console
Uh huh.
in a very retro look.
Yeah.
Uh huh.
How does it play games?
It's extreme.
Is it made by Atari?
No,
How does this?
Is that the new Jaguar?
this is the belt
Ooh.
for the best Kamen Rider that we've
sorry,
ever
what?
had ever.
Hold your tongue, sir.
A Kamen Rider.
Yes.
He's the Kamen Rider. His belt says it. So,
I know. They want to
Yeah.
remind you
Oh, we
every
know.
time.
long story short, until we get the build driver, we're gonna have this here.
So,
It is-
Temporary.
And
Top
it's
of the
neon
lunchbox.
green. If anyone wants to donate, the
if
build
anyone wants to
driver-
just send us the build driver, that would be fantastic.
We would
Hey,
love
did
you.
you bring enough like peanut butter and jelly sandwiches for everyone?
in the lunchbox.
Yeah.
No, this
Oh, this is a lunchbox?
no. It
It
gives me a
could-
great
might-
idea. Maybe.
Why don't we
Oh
just- I'm
man,
going to move your
why
show
don't we,
tempo.
why
There we
don't
go.
we, like... God, how do you even open this? This is the worst unboxing video
It's
ever.
Darrel proof.
Yeah, right?
Boom!
Has more gashots.
Gash it.
Gashots.
Gash shit.
Gashits. You
These are
lost.
so...
I
like,
totally
can't.
lost.
Is that the
mm,
Castlevania?
Which one? Oh yeah, can I play Castlevania?
They can play Pac-Man. I didn't bring Pac-Man.
Do you have Pac-Man?
Worst
I have
console ever.
Pac-Man.
Why did you bring Pac-Man?
I got it.
I
I
forgot
don't
it.
play if it's Miss Pac-Man.
Worst console ever. All right, so let's jump into it. We're talking about Kamen Rider
Wait.
Build. Just kidding.
Before we go into it, I just want to say someone had a birthday on here.
Really?
This past week.
Oh,
Was this guy here?
Oh, hey,
Oh!
what's up?
Happy
Happy
Hello.
birthday!
should we
Thank
sing
you.
Happy Birthday?
Nah, that's cool.
It's not copyrighted
well,
anymore.
it's
We
like
can do it.
the-
and not get in
oh,
trouble.
crap.
Oh wow.
I brought some cupcakes to celebrate.
Oh. I
Oh,
was
you turned 21?
I had no
yeah,
idea.
around that age. I'm around that. I was not prepared for that. That's cool. Thank you.
No one.
Let's
Happy birthday, everybody.
thank
go happy birthday! Happy birthday!
If you got that reference.
Yeah, so go pass it down.
Let's go. Okay, here. Did you get? You want one? Okay, one.
Yeah.
Everyone gets one.
Because I need one.
Why do I?
Yeah.
Honestly.
You.
Jesus, there's a lot of frosting.
There's a
on
lot of
this.
frosting.
I want. How do I?
I was not prepared for that, so thank you, man.
There you go.
That's,
Birthday.
Okay, cool.
Thank you.
Okay.
So what'd you do for your birthday?
I, as an adult, went to Goofy's Kitchen with my family because
That's what you do it as adults.
Yeah. Was Max there?
No Max. I don't know. I'm sure they have issues right now, but no, it was fun, and filled ourselves with too much food as you should at a buffet. So that was fun.
You got your money's worth.
It was good. Yeah.
So how old did you turn?
Old enough.
I see.
Old enough. Old enough.
I wanted to see if we would get that answer or an actual answer, and we got the.
Inconsequential. So
Ryan's Super Zero Steel Force Squad Thomas said. Oh, wait, happy late birthday, Justin.
Oh, thanks, man.
So,
appreciate that.
I butchered your name, Ryan. I am so sorry. Shorten it up a little.
Stop adding words to it. There's a limit, I think.
Mars Girl, Tanjo ni omedetou gozaimasu.
Yes.
And that is.
I don't know.
That's.
Can someone
I just know how to pronounce it.
Can someone translate that?
Gozaimasu.
Great.
Anyway.
But thank you.
But yes,
Thank you.
So, doesn't matter how old you turn, we're going to be talking about the children's show,
Yes.
Kamen Rider Build.
All ages.
All
can
age
enjoy.
show. But, I mean,
I think it's 0 and up, right?
Yeah, 0 and up
Something like that,
is
yeah.
the age range for Kamen Rider shows. So okay, thank you for that, by the way, everyone. That's really cool. I'm gonna eat this cupcake and. Yeah.
Okay. All right, so Kamen Rider Build episode 2. We have a lot of stuff answered, but there's a lot of stuff in this episode.
A lot. Like,
So
a
much.
lot.
What was the name of this episode?
I don't even remember.
There's The Innocent Runaway.
Yeah.
Innocent Runaway.
Yes. Clearly referring to Banjo.
Banjo.
I just-
Banjo.
once in
Banjo.
His name is Banjo.
Banjo Kazooie. And
Yeah, I just wanted to know if Darrel knew that name of the episode because I know he did it.
But, okay, so episode starts off with
The theme song.
oh yeah, so we get our first glimpse at the theme song, and you said that you wanted to hear it.
hear it and see the visuals
Yes.
with the song.
So what do you think?
I like it, but I don't. I had this interesting talk with a friend where it's like, you know how sometimes the song can come back in a motif in a later action sequence,
Yeah.
and that's the stuff's going down
Be
moment.
the
Yeah.
one, yeah.
Yeah, and it's like certain songs, that song is the pump up moment. It's with this one, I like it, but I would have a hard time figuring out when you use that song in that moment in the show.
I feel like you'd hear the instrumental part first, and then
Yeah.
just do 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 do, and then he's rising up, and then there's all these really dramatic camera shots. I'm like, yes,
Yeah,
be the one, be the one, Build.
but I love the opening credits visuals. There's
Yeah.
some really cool stuff.
The
in it.
visuals are great. The song itself,
Pandora.
it's not
and-
as good as the X8 theme song. It doesn't do.
I mean, okay, so I like the X8 theme song, but this one's really good.
No, it's
Yeah.
good. I'm not saying it's not good. I'm just saying that it doesn't do the job pumping me up for the show.
Yeah.
As much as the X8 theme song.
I don't pump me up.
No, yeah, not
sufficiently.
Yeah, you just
I have
like
been
to hate
sufficiently
X8.
pumped
it's
up.
okay. It's okay. You like to hate X8.
How about you?
I liked it. I don't have any in-depth comments on it. It was cool. It was an opening. Yeah.
It's good. I feel like it's a grower.
It wasn't what I was expecting. I was
Yeah.
expecting, the usual rock opening or something like that, but just it was electronic. Is that what you would
It's
describe?
fine. I mean, it's fine for a theme song.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like the individual shots too of everybody's I like seeing everybody in their element shots. Those are always
Oh
fun.
yeah, when they're building that thing.
Building their
Building.
thing. And actually can we address the hop
The hop.
that happens at one point after in the opening credits? where
Oh,
it's
when as soon as they be the one, it's as soon as they start singing "Be the One,"
Yeah.
and they all start jumping. I'm like, what?
what just happened?
I mean, okay, this is fun, I guess. Cool. I remember watching this with someone kind of looking over my shoulder, and it goes to Banjo punching at the equations. He's like, "Does that guy not like math?" I'm like,
I can relate to that.
I don't know.
I can relate to that.
Actually,
Banjo, I don't like math either.
there's that shot of Banjo punching out one of the robot guards. I'm like, that's super badass.
Yeah.
Which I really like. So
Yeah.
no, there's actually I think it's cool that we're I'm pretty sure Banjo's the secondary writer.
So,
And-
so if you took a step back and you watched the opening again, do you think you would get into it without any knowledge of the series?
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the sequence itself is shot beautifully.
Yeah.
It has a lot of really cool visuals in it as well.
Right.
I think just watching the intro would get me okay, I'll watch an episode and then judge it from there. But Mars Girl said I feel like it sounds like a great pop song, but maybe not a great Kamen Rider theme song, which I could see that.
Yeah, no, I
understand
totally
that.
agree. But I mean, time will tell. But yes, I 100% agree that it's like it's a really cool pop song. I can't wait for the full version.
Yeah.
I want to see if like anything really changes like in the second half of the song.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, so we got past the opening, and now Banjo.
Yeah, so it starts with they literally as soon as he got brought back to the lair.
Oh yes.
And they're explaining to Banjo like what's going on, and he meets the girl with the ponytail in her head.
Like kind of the purifying power.
Who are you? And she like I love this sequence. Wait, before that.
that's right.
We were like, give us your whole story. And so
Yes.
this was a great like breaking the fourth wall kind of thing, because he steps back, he's like, well, you see, I was born in Yokohama. I was a
far back.
something kilogram baby. And then Sendo like grabs the screen and like
kilogram?
throws it. Huh?
What's a kilogram?
I don't know.
Oh, all right.
Right.
Not a lot.
Not a lot.
Yeah, like I don't know, Japan. We use pounds here. But yeah, this was a really nice like fourth wall breaking thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a really good
Yeah,
gag
it's
too.
1,000 grams. It's about. I still don't know what that means.
We're in
Let's go
America.
with that.
America.
Yeah, so immediately after that, though, we have a moment straight from the Flash
Oh yeah.
where the reporter just walks into their secret base,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like, do they also not have security? Like, what's going on?
It was this really funny sequence of just like, did you close the fridge? Sorry.
Yeah.
It was fun. I really enjoyed like seeing the comedy between all of them. When they like meet the ponytail girl.
Yeah.
What's her name? Did you get her name?
I don't.
Miso.
Miso, something
The daughter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I still haven't quite gotten the owner's name quite down.
Yeah.
But,
Hipster and little girls.
Hipster cafe guy.
Yeah.
And then it's like, who are you?
I love that.
That was it's just like all
That's
these
my
little,
line.
There's all these little funny quirks already, and it's like, I like these characters. They seem like it's gonna be a really fun cast all the way through.
Yeah, even the reporter was good too.
Yeah. No, she's actually no. Everyone's. That's the fun thing about the show is I can see that there's already a good selection of personalities that's going to be fun to mix around in this show, and already you got different levels of like kind of like comedy bits and good
Seriousness.
Seriousness. Yeah.
Like Banjo is like 100% serious, like all the time, but it's
Right.
in contrast to like everyone else's. That's why it's so funny.
Yeah.
And then so we learn about reporter chick. I forget her name, but she's anyway. So like, you don't remember the harbor? That's where I saw you for the first time. And of course, when he unhensions.
Yeah.
He drops a matchbook.
It was
a matchbook.
It was a matchbook to the
address of
cafe.
And my question is, why would he de-henshin in front of her?
I don't think
Can he like do a Batman thing and disappear?
I don't think he knew that she was like conscious again. I think he just
maybe.
assumed that like, she's gone.
Yeah, but for someone so smart, that was a stupid move. Regardless.
Yeah.
I also appreciate his little like skip that he was
Oh
doing.
yeah,
Like,
he
right
just skips away to the night.
Just his jacket.
I think that's his victory dance.
Yeah, he's
He
like,
just skips away.
I did so good tonight.
This was a great fight, man. I schooled that guy real quick.
That was good. That was fun.
No, yeah.
Can't wait to see what this guy does.
And that's kind of where like the reporter basically was like, she wants the exclusive of
She wants to
Kamen Rider.
blackmail them.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. It's like, give me a scoop because it'll both work in our favor.
Right.
And this is what she does. And I'm like,
It's a win-win.
yeah, win-win situation. And it was really cute.
Which I heard that's actually even a throwback to Double.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah,
because,
yeah.
That makes sense.
You know. So after that, he's like, okay, fine. You can do whatever you want. Just don't reveal our identities. And I think this is a really nice thing because now they have an inside like reporter that can go around, get information with them without them personally going around, and it's cool.
Yeah.
They have an inside man. What happens after that?
That in my notes.
They go to like basically like sent to like a harbor.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, oh yeah,
Yeah.
there was like a distress signal.
Oh, yeah, that was a little weird.
They got,
like this is what I mean. Like a lot was happening during this episode,
Yeah.
and there was just a lot of weird cuts.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was like it didn't feel like it gelled into that scene quite really.
Yeah.
It's like as soon as that ended, go to the harbor. Oh, okay. It was set up.
And it was
he's-
like it's clearly another day too. It's not the same. It's obviously the next day or something like
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Yeah. And at this point, like Banjo's chained up, and he's like with the girl, and she explains his powers, like, oh, I'm the only one that could purify them. It's not the microwave. It's
Yeah.
also me.
She's being the one.
Yeah, maybe
What
that's...
were you saying, JD?
What?
You were saying something.
I don't remember.
And then he
now.
like completely
Oh,
cut
I'm
you
sorry.
off.
No, that's
God,
cool.
you're an asshole, Jimmy.
No, I was.
I'm shocked it didn't go to the cupcakes. I want to point that out.
Anyway, so yeah, he was completely set up by this random distress call that they just happened to get for some reason.
Yeah.
And we get to see a new best match. Was
No,
it? Was
no,
it
no,
there?
no, there
Not
was-
quite yet. No,
that
it was just
not quite
It
yet.
just
No,
turned
this was-
into- no, he was already. He was
No, this-
already.
Yeah, he was already henshin. It was
Yeah,
a
henshin.
kind of
This
a
was just on
motorcycle
the way
thing.
there.
This is just
It
a
was-
quick little skirmish.
No, it was a bunch of those stormtrooper guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
there was
that's right.
There's a really
Yeah.
funny scene where he kind of goes behind a wall, and he's like de-henshin just on his like giant phone.
Yeah, they don't question
He's
that.
like, "Good morning." And
Yeah.
they're like, "Where'd he go?" Okay, this it
That's
can't be that guy. He's on his phone. Let's go over here.
That's a great little bit, but also one of those cases like, Sento, you can only do that once.
yeah. After a while,
Oh, we keep running into the same guy.
Oh, that's weird.
And I like how, they're in this, like, I don't know, probably a restricted harbor or something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
And there's this random guy there on his phone just, like, chilling. Like, none of them thought, he's suspicious.
I do like how
Let's shoot at him.
I do like immediately after he's like, "Okay, I'm good."
Yeah.
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 So we can put on an acting facade. It's nice to see that, especially with someone so quote-unquote smart.
Right.
Yeah, and we also, after that, it kind of goes to Banjo and the girl kind of going back and forth.
Oh, yeah.
And he kind of tricks her into going to the microwave machine.
I really like that
He's
scene,
like,
too,
"Oh,
yeah.
you really can't do it." She's like, "What?"
This was a great scene, but I didn't like what it led up into.
Yeah.
So he's like, "Oh, you're the only one that can purify these full bottles or the elements." That's what we're calling them because you
The
kept calling them
essences.
essence, but now they're called elements. I guess Hedgehog is an element, Tank
Right.
is an element, apparently, according to this.
Makes sense.
Yeah, and so she's the only one apparently that can do it, and it cuts to a shot of her wrist.
It's like a bracelet.
Yeah.
like a
Did
gold
anyone else
bracelet.
think like Gold Ranger?
Yeah, right.
It does look vaguely Gold Ranger-y.
This shot
Yeah,
was
Gold
also
Ranger.
in the opening too, so
Right.
I was like, okay, so there's some significance towards this. And then after he's like, no, I'm gonna
She's like,
I'm gonna take this bottle and I'm gonna like.
but you're gonna pay me hourly or something. And she kind of goes in. She leaves her phone behind,
Yeah.
and he with his feet.
This is a very skilled.
Yeah, he's like
Boxer.
super accurate, like dialing with his feet.
Well, clearly this is the effects of the experimentation.
Yeah.
Like he's super strong and like
Super accurate with his
super
feet.
accurate with his feet.
Yeah.
No, that's
Yeah.
clearly what
Because his
they're
whole
working
feet
on.
is like stomping on the phone, but he's managing to still dial.
It's very, very, very skilled.
And he
Yeah.
dials like the secret lab or something.
Oh, yeah.
He,
No,
call-
he's-
he
he's
calls
got-
his girlfriend,
he calls his girlfriend.
Masumi or
Kasumi.
Oh,
Kasumi.
yeah.
He
I guess
calls
because
her.
he just got out of containment or whatever he was, jail.
Yeah.
Jail. And it just happens to pick up on her going, screaming.
Yeah, then we get Batman is like, okay, get your butt over here.
So we have your girl, and if you want to see her again,
Yeah, but that was actually kind of intense, cutting to her going help, and she's just pushed into the tank.
Yeah.
I just thought it was weird that they answered the phone. Like,
yeah.
but as
right?
you're experimenting on the girl, you just answer her phone
I
for
see.
no reason. That's cool. It's
Who is
ringing.
this? Oh, it's your boyfriend.
And
Here.
to kind of backtrack,
Perfect.
yeah.
and to backtrack a little bit earlier, one of the things we did find out is that Banjo explained that his girlfriend told, he basically rigged himself to lose a fight to
Yeah.
help pay for her surgery of some sort of
Yeah.
surgery she has. And she says, well, you need a job, so I heard a scientist needs some sort of help. So why don't why don't you go to that scientist's apartment and get the job? And he gets there, and he points out, as soon as I get there, I see a dead body and a knife.
And immediately after the
Yes.
cops get there, and even the hipster guy is like, that's a little too convenient.
Yeah.
They said that at the very beginning.
Yeah.
And it was just, man, I love this. How happens. It's like, okay, so I set you up, go get this job, and now dead body.
Yeah.
I like that the owner, the barista guy, was like, "That's way too convenient." The cops are right there, and he's going, "Well, that's what happened."
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, so after she gets turned into a smash,
Turns
actually,
into a
I
smash.
can't get over the name. And I don't think I will, even by the end of the series, because it's just like, she turned into a smash. It's like, what? Japan, you couldn't have come up with a better name.
Yeah, but apparently Banjo took the girl's phone, to go look for her, and the girl's like he left.
Yeah, calls up Sendo and was like, so he took my phone,
activated GPS. Used the GPS to find him.
This leads to another kind of I call this both hilariously and a hilarious and sweet flashback, because it cuts to Banjo thinking about like the last time he really saw her, and it's like this super cheesy, almost 80s level. Yeah. Like if you this reminds me of something out of Jetman or like Masked Man. It's like the cherry blossoms are surrounding them. It was.
Sorry, I didn't realize there was a button there.
Everything has this like fuzzy glow to it.
Yeah. It was really kind of sweet.
Yeah.
And then he points out like her illness, like, oh, she's losing weight.
Yeah, because there was this really cool shot. I'm sorry to interrupt you. There's this really cool shot of her ring finger.
Yeah.
And when I was first watching, I was like, that ring is too big. Like, they're stupid. And then immediately after he says she's losing weight, I was like, oh, I'm an idiot. I'm a jerk.
I thought it was a little weird though that like so before I noticed the ring, I rewinded and I was like, why is he looking at her like that? Why does he look so disappointed?
Right.
Did she get engaged with someone else and not tell him? Oh, she's sick. Oh, okay. Yeah. Makes sense.
It actually makes, and then it adds this like, oh, that's a bummer. You know, like it's actually adds the sadness.
Something's wrong with your life, and we're supposed to feel bad. Jimmy and I were talking about this earlier. It's like, I feel like I was kind of attached to like what happens at the end, but if we had another episode to kind of build upon that.
Oh, sure.
But because it literally just happened. It was like, oh, I have a girlfriend. Let me call her with my foot, and you're in trouble.
Yeah, so let's see. She gets turned into a smash.
Sorry.
Say it one more time so Darrel laughs.
Smash! It's the smash.
Smash!
So they kind of bicker and fight. There's this like kind of cool like moment where the stormtroopers turn into this giant robot thing. I was kind of hoping they'd summon a Megazord and kind of beat him, but he uses his science math to defeat him.
That was so funny when they like ran out. And he's like, where are you running? I was like, I don't know. And they run out of the building, and these the guys, just this badly CG'd like soldiers formed together.
Yeah. Is this also where we are introduced to the new best match in the show, which is
Gorillamon.
Gorillamon. Yeah.
Gorilla, like it looks like Donkey Kong. Like,
yes.
And then Diamond, and he's really cool. Has the giant Hellboy arm and giant thing, and it's really cool. It's cool. It's really cool. That's what I'm trying to get at.
It's just what proposed like the creators would be like, what would be a good match? A gorilla and a diamond. Never mind the fact that we have a tank and a rabbit.
Yeah. This also kind of shows us like when you get a perfect match.
Yeah.
That's when like the pipings come out, and I guess that implies that like these are the good combos.
These are the best ones.
The strongest combinations,
yeah. And we'll find out in the later in the show that like, he can combine any form in any mode, but like when the piping comes out, these are the best combos. And the strongest ones.
I like the fact that he doesn't know which ones are which either.
Yeah.
Because
it happens,
because like when he did it and it was like, best match! Oh man, you're F now. That was great. I was so happy that he doesn't know, and then I tend to realize he's been combining Hedgehog and Tank a lot, and that looks like such a cool combo, but it's not a best match.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
It reminds me a lot of Sonic the Hedgehog, because you have Sonic, it's a hedgehog.
Yeah.
And then he's blue on the other side, and I was like, is that intentional? I hope that's intentional.
Exactly.
Yeah. I could see that. Yeah.
They defeat the giant
Guardian Zord
thing
with math.
With math. My favorite part is though when they see them all combining and he lowers the gun. Oh, and you actually see his head turn.
One of my favorite moments though was with when Banjo comes up with the motorcycle. He goes, "Get on, let's go." He's
no,
this is great. He punches him. He goes through the building, and the giant thing starts chasing him and starts shooting at the building. And it's like, "You suck!"
No, I'm gonna kill him! And he's like driving through. Oh my gosh!
Yeah,
that was so funny watching all. And then he did this equation in his head that I think we're gonna see a lot throughout the series.
I hope we see it, because that kind of really shows that he's a legit smart person,
right?
Because if he could, it's one way to do something and you get lucky and it works out for you.
Right.
It's another way for you to perfectly calculate, like, okay, if there's a car up there, if I knock the car down, this will happen. I could jump up, and I could, hit him in the head.
For anyone that knows math, does anyone know if these equations are like correct?
I would hope so.
Because there's actual equations on like this thing, and I'm like, I wonder if they just like grab crap off a Wikipedia page and just like did it. Because the what? Oh, someone pulled up a screenshot.
I don't
Watch
have
the episode.
Watch the episode. So
Damn. Okay.
I don't know if you guys know this, but in Go Busters, that whole sequence, I think it's the second opening. There's all this text in the background. That was all ripped off of the Super Sentai Wikipedia page in English. And it's like, and so like if you read it, it's exactly word for word the same. And I'm like, oh my god, these Toei people. I forgot who discovered it, but it was like I was on a Facebook group and I was like, oh. These guys.
That's funny.
Yasin Bulhan said, did the giant robot remind anyone of the Indian sci-fi movie from a few years ago where the robot clones transform into a giant snake?
I was totally thinking that when I saw that moment.
It kind of reminded me of Dino Charge when all the whatever they're called, going to the giant, whatever they're called.
Vivix.
The Vivix.
A little bit of
Vivizord, yeah.
A little bit of Vivix, but definitely I was totally thinking the exact same Indian movie. And I'm like, they must have seen that. They had to have seen that. Have you guys seen that?
I have not. You better link me to it, because that sounds amazing.
You guys, this is the only clip of that movie you ever need to see.
All right.
Didn't the Shocker in like another movie, I think it was probably one of the Decade movies, where they all combined together to create like some hand or a ship or something like that?
Maybe.
It was like...
That sounds kind of familiar.
Yeah, that like there was all these Shocker people that kind of just jumped in the air and like formed this giant something. And if I'm just making this up out of my head, but it sounds super familiar.
Mars Girl said, my understanding is yes, they're correct. She's referring to the math.
Yes.
But I don't know that myself, just hearing it from other people who've done the math.
So people have actually like done the math for this.
That doesn't quite surprise me.
Good job, Toku community. Like I'm actually legitimately
They
impressed.
actually hired a mathematician
And
for
then,
this.
Yeah, right?
It looks like she also knows the name of the movie. It's called Robot.
There it is.
And it's on Netflix, and it's fantastic. So I'm gonna check that out.
Robot.
It's on Netflix.
That's what Mars Girl said. I'm gonna
That's
check
clever
it out.
name.
I did not know that. It's a very character-driven name of a movie that's pretty accurate now.
I'm gonna go check that out, and next week I'll give you guys my quick thoughts on it, because that sounds amazing. All right, so they defeat the giant thing, and then they kind of argue, like, "Are you stupid?" You know, like,
oh yeah,
like, do you have a death wish, pretty much? And he's like, well, and then he gets him in like the sleeper.
Oh no, he punches him in the gut and puts him in this hold, and just like I realized, acting, but it was the face that he made like. Before he went limp, and it was just like
he went down pretty easily though.
Yeah, it's like, oh, that's all it takes to take down Kamen Rider Build.
But I mean, that's the thing though. Like Banjo is like a fighter. He's a trained fighter. Sento is still like.
So if he becomes a secondary rider, holy crap!
Shit.
Yeah.
So after that moment, Banjo gets on his motorcycle, goes to the hospital where his girlfriend is supposed to be.
Yeah.
And he gets there.
No, he doesn't get there. He looks at it from like far beyond the
He's
distance.
like, Kasumi. Or, Kasumi.
It was this whole line came. I was like, everything the light touches is yours. Like, yo, man, I'm gonna go right there. Boom!
Yeah, it explodes. Like, no! And
all this debris happens to fly his way, and I love that. It was so funny.
Moves out of the way. Then a smash shows up, and then that's when she starts throwing fire at Banjo, and Build comes in,
Banjo.
saves him. Build comes in and saves him.
The Banjo.
Yeah.
And God dang it.
Banjo in the smash.
We lost him.
If he doesn't come back next week, now you know why.
He would be still giggling.
I will. It's the little things. I'm the kind of person, if you say it like toilet paper, I probably would laugh. It's stupid.
So
simple mind.
So Banjo, Build comes and saves Banjo, and he's like. No. I think Night Rogue shows up.
Night Rogue shows up.
Oh yeah,
and he's like, "Oh, your girlfriend? You're too late. That's your girlfriend."
Oh no. Okay, so
Right.
Well, like basically, yeah, like Night Rogue shows up, and like Sento goes like, "Oh crap, it's you."
yeah, I like how he shows up too in this like tornado of like dust and like smoke and stuff, and then it's like,
Oh, this is great.
It's Batman. I'm Night Rogue.
And I love that Sento's like, I don't care. Shaka.
I'm gonna defeat you. It's like, no, wait, that's my girlfriend. Oh,
So? He's like, so?
yeah,
like,
he gives us like so face. I was like, whatever.
But it turns
I'm gonna
out
kick her
that
butt anyway.
it turns out that they put a different toxin in her body that once the Smash is defeated, she disappears too.
I think it was. They called it Hazard 1.
Yeah, it was Hazard.
Because I also have to assume because of her own illness. That's another after effect.
She's weak, like from her body being weak.
Yeah,
so it's gonna be an after effect.
What that makes me wonder how long they have these people under experimentation.
Yeah.
Because Sendo doesn't have his memory, and then there's this guy that apparently like. We forgot to mention this actually in the beginning of the episode.
Oh, yeah, right,
they were like, "Oh, he lost his memory, but they were trying to find the best match to my memory." Mm-hmm. It was like, so how did you know that? That was a little disconnect. I was like, why do you know what they were trying to accomplish at this thing, but you don't remember what happened?
Yeah.
But yeah, so they were trying to find, like his memory, and then he loses memory, and then they find another guy, and then this girl is apparently super, super weak. So it's like, did more time pass, or did this happen like almost immediately?
Yeah.
Right.
Like, did they capture her because he escaped?
Yeah.
Or, like, what's going on?
Was she
there?
always planned to be picked for the project?
Exactly.
Et cetera, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, it looks like once, and that's the thing I like to where like Sento was just, okay, I'm just gonna do what I usually do, take the thing out of that person, and they're back normal. Yeah. And that's when Night Rogue is like, nah, that's not.
She's a Hazard 1. Or wait, what's the Tommy left?
There it is.
I imagine that he'd be a Tommy kind of character.
What if it's Jason David Frank in the suit?
Oh, like actually Jason David, actor Jason
great.
David Frank.
Actor, yeah.
More Tommy,
Yeah,
awesome.
more. Yeah. He's taking over that franchise too.
Okay.
Yeah, so we discover that, and she's the Smash starts throwing fireballs.
Yeah.
And he kind of moves him out of the way, and then something really ridiculous happens. Cleaner!
Oh wait, no. Before that, she's shooting fireballs, and then right before our build is like, oh no, let's go. Banjo jumps in the way and blocks it in usual Sentai fashion, Sentai, Kamen Rider, Toku, whatever, and and it's like, no, you can't do it. Oh no, it's the one I love. Shoots herself. And it's like, oh, I guess she still has humanity left.
Yeah.
And so when Sendo sees that, that's when he activates Cleaner and sucks up all the fireballs, because you can just do that.
Because that's how a vacuum cleaner absolutely works.
For those of you who didn't watch, Cleaner was a vacuum cleaner.
Yeah.
So he had like the vacuum cleaner on his lens, he had a giant vacuum cleaner for
It
his
was
arm.
cool. I liked it a lot, actually.
Was it cool?
I
liked it.
I liked it. I like the color scheme more than I like
Yeah,
the
it was
actual
beautiful.
power.
It was a beautiful color.
It's like vacuum cleaner mode is one of those things where it's like, I get it.
Yeah. I sort of okay.
Like,
All right.
Like, I wouldn't have come up with that, but sure.
I want to see what the best match for that is. And I feel like if they chose like one of the vacuums with the nose heads, not the I think that would have been a lot cooler. But no, they had to go with like generic like cleaning.
Yeah.
The thing on his shoulder where you just had.
It was
fun.
What if the best match is like Anteater or something like that?
Anteater vacuum?
Yeah.
Like a long.
Yeah, because it sucks ants.
There we go.
I actually really like that.
That would be interesting.
I would love to see that.
That would be interesting.
I'm about to suck you up so hard.
And vacuum.
Do you think we'll actually see like Cleaner again? Like
it might be like a one and done.
Yeah.
Because at least with X-Hater, they had a few one and dones.
That happens a lot with these shows. Like I remember, like in Forza, it's like there's a shovel mode, and when do you use that? Like in an imaginary sequence, and never,
exactly.
like never in the show.
The thing with Forza though is that there was 40 switches, and half of them, even though you could all use them in battle, they were pretty useless. It was like there was the pogo stick one. It was like, oh man, what is he gonna do with this?
It's never seen again.
And like that was exactly. It was like maybe a couple times after, but then there's like things like Magic Hand, and then what was the other thing? There was a blue switch. I don't remember, but it was like really...
What about Build?
What about Build? Yeah.
What about Build?
Anyway.
But yeah, this might be a one and done thing.
Yeah, I mean, because even like X8 had Juju Burger, which was used literally one episode, and that's it. So it's I wouldn't be surprised if it's a one and done. But if they find something really, really cool to do with it, like that'd be cool too. Because
there could be a dust smash.
I mean,
we don't know.
It's silly. It's really silly, but I don't hate it.
Yeah.
So I hope they just like use it for him to clean the apartment or something.
He's like cleaning the lab. He's like, damn it, not again.
Actually, I would love that. That'd be amazing.
So Yasin Bullhan, was she farther along in the experiment because she was sick and the formula bonded to her more to fix her? That's actually something to think about, because if we come across another character kind of like that, we'll know. Because that's probably why it's like more like, oh, you can't take it away from her because now it's part of her.
And it also could, I mean, I also kind of read it as like, because she's sick, that the deterioration was going to happen faster with her.
Right.
And so, I mean, that's going to be the fun part too, is like looking at all the other Smash that we see in the show and how they're going to react to them and who are the other people.
Oh, we have Larry Nealbill. What's up, Larry?
So before we continue, let's kind of go through the room, see who's in here. So we have Mars Girl, as we said earlier. We have Ryan Super 04 Steel Speed Thomas.
You said it at a pretty good speed that time.
Thank you.
That was pretty good.
We have Jezer in here. We have someone named Sasuke Yuzawa. We have Josh. Yasin, he's been pretty, or she, you've been pretty accurate.
Thank you.
Thank you. We have Larry is in here too.
Hi, Larry.
Cool. So thank you guys for being in here and chatting with us.
That's the one I was thinking about. Mars Girl. For Forze, water faucet. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I didn't know.
Nope.
That's one of the ones I didn't like.
I can't even remember when it showed up.
Yeah. The fact that they used them all in the movie was amazing.
That's true.
That was great. But again, half of them were useless.
So one thing I did like about that sequence though with the vacuum is when he had like the fire above him and then he went to diamond and the fire turned into diamonds. Mm-hmm. That was really cool. He started shooting it at the Smash.
Yeah. Oh, and
that was really cool.
And the math came in again.
Yeah.
That's what I like about what I'm seeing in Sento is that he's a character. He's like, one of the things I like about him is he's observing a lot. And like in that moment, he's looking at the situation and it's almost like a Doctor Who kind of thing where he's working out his head. It's like, okay, this is the best I can do.
Yeah.
And that's what I love about it. So he took the fire, turned it into diamond, punched to diamonds. Because that's how it works. And, and then that allowed the separation between, fire Smash.
Because that's how you separate, whatever it is.
No, you punch somebody with diamonds. And that's how you separate them from stuff.
So remember, kids, if your loved one is ever possessed by evil Smash,
throw diamonds at
them. Throw diamonds at him.
If you have enough diamonds, it'll definitely work.
That's how it works.
Not one. It has to be like several diamonds.
I'm curious. Can he like turn anything into diamonds and then just like sell it and become rich? So he can pay his rent? His like 12 months of rent that's overdue?
Probably not going to.
Totally could.
He could.
Like, or do they disappear when he dehensions? Like, can he like stand outside of the pawn shop or jewelry exchange and just like, here's some have someone else go for him?
I imagine they disappear because he had to stay there to like hold it.
That's
but he can still summon his gun. These are the questions we have to answer. Not like who's the main villain of the series or in Pandora's box. These are the questions.
It's Batman.
It's
Batman. That's it.
Yeah, I'm just curious if like he could do that because that would be dope because he could be debt free.
I just have a fistful of diamonds. Here you go.
It's like drops it in front of the owner. Like boom.
No, he goes and sells the diamonds because obviously as soon as the owner has it, he dehensions and disappear. Like he can steal money because he could be like outside of the door and have like Banjo go in for him and say, "Here, I'm selling these."
You're trying to find a way. You're doing this weird loophole system, and I'm not sure if I like it.
I'm okay. You know what? These are shower thoughts. I'll think about it in the shower.
Anyway, so we hit a more serious moment of just she's dying. She's separated now, and is like,
Banjo's holding her.
I can't believe you're still alive. I failed you, and I accidentally deceived you. I sent you into this place where this person died, and I almost got you killed. So I'm happy you're still alive, and I'm sorry.
And she drops a name.
I think she was like, I don't deserve you or something. And he's like, well, you make me happy. You make me happy.
Yeah.
But
yes, we get a name drop.
Yeah, we do get.
This is the biggest part about this whole it was super emotional. I didn't cry. You cried.
I don't know what you're talking about. That's weird.
I was cutting onions.
Yeah. So Mighty Action Lou said she dropped the name Nabeshima.
Yeah, that's the name.
Yeah, so because that's the name of the person who pretty much told her about the job.
Yeah.
That cop.
We'll
We'll
get to that.
We'll get to it.
Yeah.
And
Jumping
he's like, oh, it's I love you, and he makes peace with her. He's able to say goodbye to her. She disappears. The Smash dies. He collects the essence.
Really quick, my favorite part about this whole thing is like, okay, one, his shirt says,
oh yeah,
you look better on social media.
You look better on social media.
I want that shirt.
And the whole time, I'm like, I mean, I understand things just happen, like. You can't just control what you're wearing in situations like this, but the camera's on you, and it's like you looked better on social media, and then it cuts it back away, and they're all like hugging on the ground, and Bill's just like, guys, hurry this up! Like,
you can only hold on for so long.
Yeah,
I just want to point out that I feel that shirt is inappropriate for the moment I had to sit through.
You know what that reminds me of? There's these pictures of third world countries who get our shirts.
Yeah.
And you see a little 8-year-old girl with a shirt that says slut on it.
the police.
Yeah, and it's like that's just wrong. They don't know what it means. Why did you do that? Who decided?
Yeah. Who decided to donate that shirt?
That's what reminded me of it.
That's apparently a
That's not
slut.
bad.
But yeah, it's exactly like that. It was like, they have no control over it, obviously, because, oh, I just woke up and now my girlfriend's dying, so this is the shirt I'm wearing. But it's just like, okay. It was kind of hard to take it seriously, and that's why I wasn't so emotional.
He was also wearing girl boots.
Oh, yeah!
He was. He was.
So it's obviously this clothes belong to either the girl and Sento and whoever.
Yeah.
They just don't wear that ugly white gown thing that he was wearing the first episode. And
that shirt's available on sale.
Is it premium Bandai?
It's official shirt that has all the damage, and I'm sure it's $80 on it.
Premium Bandai.
Premium Bandai.
$80, huh? I know a friend that would that would pay good money for that.
Did anyone else notice that? What's his name? Sento?
Sento?
Yeah.
Sento? His shoes are 2 different colors.
Yes,
which is cool.
So that was kind of an X8 thing too, because he had his 2 different colors.
Yeah, I just noticed this in this episode. I was like, hey.
Well, they actually have a nice close up of it. Where it's like, his
Yeah, I thought
red
that was
and blue
really
belt.
cool because because it's red and blue. I was like, oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
If you wore that in America, you'd be shot.
No, it's really patriotic because it also had white on them, so it's.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Or Los Angeles, I just didn't know.
No, that must suck for him though, because he has to buy 2 pairs of shoes, and then what happens to the other pairs? These are the questions. These are the important questions.
These are the important questions we should be asking. Does he buy 2 pairs, or does he go up? He's like, can I just buy these 2? I know it's gonna F over whoever buys these, but I want these.
I hope it alternates. He uses the left blue one, and then he uses the right blue one the next day.
Yeah.
And then,
That would be kind of cool too.
From Monday and Wednesday, it's the other one.
They'll last longer.
From the last longer, yeah.
Monday I'll wear 2 red ones. Tuesday I'll wear 2 blue ones. Wednesday mixed match, and then Thursday other way around.
And then sometimes Saturdays for funsies, I'll just wear the same color.
Doesn't even wear shoes.
Friday I'll wear 2 left ones.
That's it.
So after the Smash is defeated, he collects the essence, the element or whatever.
Element.
He collects the element, and you have this shot of Banjo just defeated. He's like, no, just go out without me. And he's like, really? After all this, you just wanna? They're gonna capture you, and you're gonna murder anyway.
like this scene.
Yeah. So he's like, fine. So he kind of walks away, but it immediately cuts back to both of them on their motorcycles. Okay.
Oh no,
cool. Oh, that's right.
He does that. Look, bro. I swear to God, if you give up right now.
No, it's a good scene because Sento's basically going She
wouldn't be happy. She doesn't want this.
Exactly.
Get your act together.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah. And he had a little thing like that last episode when he was like, all right, I'm gonna regret this, and it's like this is his big soft spot, and I like seeing that, and it happens at the end of every episode. It's cool.
Oh, it's the moment again. It's the stuff that goes oh, he's Kamen Rider.
Yeah.
He's a Kamen Rider. He's a guy who's this is the best thing, and he's the one who motivates you into thinking, no, you don't give up and don't stop living because you feel defeated right now. And I'm like, damn.
It's Kamen Rider.
Kamen Rider. Where has he been for a year? I'm sorry.
You mean not even a week?
See? Loss.
You lost. No, so then it cuts to them on the motorcycles. They ride away, And then it cuts to the owner of the cafe on his iPad.
Oh,
and they're like,
this
oh,
is another question.
Like, oh, the article was like, oh, the Build writer, he's still evading the government, whatever. And then the guy's like, whatever. He kind of twists up his iPad, and like turns it into a back scratcher.
And
I was like, what?
Yeah, they ask all kinds of questions.
Okay, so not only did he find some amnesiac on the street, taking in, he has a refrigerator that leads to an underground base.
He has a daughter with weird powers.
And a microwave that can create bottles with elements in them. And now he can just take iPads and just back scratcher.
Well, Seto made the
It's just the whole
microwave
situation is just ridiculous surrounding this, Well,
I mean, this asks the question now. This is like what is he and his daughter?
Yeah.
Like, what's their deal? Are they an after effect of the Pandora being open in the skywall? Are they Martians?
That's another thing. Yeah, like I think. Oh, Martians! I didn't even think about that.
So many questions. Yeah. So then after
but you're right. No, Sento did build the microwave thing.
So then it cuts to them inside the lab, and this is a really funny moment. Like with Banjo, is like, look, I want to thank you for allowing me to, do my final goodbye. And you see kind of Sento like this on his chair. He walks over, he's like, you're asleep? Like, I just poured my heart out to you and you're knocked out? Then the microwave goes off.
And they hug. So let me put out some point out I noticed watching this episode. I watched it twice. Every time the microwave goes off and they're in the vicinity of each other, Banjo hugs Sendo. It happens in the first part of the episode, and they hug. And I'm like, all right, whatever. But then it happens again. I'm like, are they shipping them together? Is Toei actually doing this?
Toei's already like, go ahead, write your slash fiction. It's cool.
You have our permission.
You have our permission. This
Tumblr.
Like, I'm shipping like Sendo and the reporter, but I mean,
I'm shipping the reporter with myself. But yeah, this is really cool. That's a really funny moment. And then he kind of goes up to the microwave. The girl comes down. She's like, whatever. It's a dragon. The element was a dragon.
Yes.
And Sento looks at it. He's like, Ryuga, as in dragon. You can have this. This is your girlfriend. You can thank me later.
I love this.
This is your. Let me hand you your girlfriend.
Yeah, this came from your girlfriend. You could have it. You could thank me later. And he walks away. And he's like looking at it, and I was like, that's kind of cool.
No, I love that. That whole thing.
Was a really powerful scene to me.
Absolutely.
Because I wouldn't do the same. Like, dragon? Hell yeah. Like, what's the best match? Vacuum dragon? Let's do this.
Dragon cleaner. Let's go.
I mean, like, if you have a hedgehog, why would you need dragon?
I mean, what if dragon gives you wings? And, like, fire breath.
Right. Well, no, I mean, like
hedgehog,
but hedgehog's got
Sonic.
Hedgehog's got spikes.
That's true.
But no, true. I love this so much because it's like kind of it gives them another bond, and also it's a sort of sweet thing where it's like, this is all that's left of your girlfriend.
This is your girlfriend in a bottle.
That's
you clearly should have. And also, his name is Ryuga. So,
it is such a beautiful moment, but it's also when you take a step back, it's like, here's your girlfriend in a bottle. Like, I know she's dead, but here you go.
Have fun.
This is a pretty obvious scene of like setting up him for the next.
Yeah.
So when he becomes a writer, because we already know there's going to be a secondary writer. It's a given. It happens to every single writer series, and we saw a leak of it. But now we have him has his own bottle, which is Dragon. That's awesome. I'm so excited.
Well, this is the cool thing I'm so excited about is that normally, like I said last week, is like a secondary writer shows up out of nowhere.
Yeah.
A sixth ranger shows up out of nowhere, and we just have to accept that they've already got all these powers sometimes or whatever. We're seeing him get, pun intended, built up as a character, and like when he becomes the writer, it's gonna, if they do this right, then it's gonna be a hell yeah moment, and we're looking forward to that.
I really hope, and I don't see why they won't make him secondary. Right? I really hope he does end up in secondary. This is gonna be so good. I'm just really excited already. It's like, now that he has this bottle, though, I wonder how long. Let's assume that he is. How long it's gonna take for him to become the writer?
Right.
Because is Sendo just gonna be like, oh, he has a bottle now? let's make him a driver.
I'm gonna say
Right.
like 5 episodes.
Yeah.
5. That sounds right.
10 seems like it's too long.
Yeah, for him to just be fighting. Hey, I need backup. You have fists, right?
Maybe 6. Like every 2 episodes, he gets a component for his rider belt or whatever.
Oh, that would be really cool. Actually.
Because he
yeah.
needs another element, and he needs his belt still. So
Yeah.
Or maybe he does it with just one. I was just thinking like, maybe he
Yeah.
just like goes around and like as they beat Smash, they find components to like, oh, this looks like, I can make another belt. And so as they keep beating people, he's like takes stuff and like builds a belt. I think that'd be cool.
He builds a belt.
He built in his microwave.
Builds a belt.
Can we build it? Yes, we can.
Santa the Builder.
We can. Sorry.
I was kind of want to bring up the fact like
Go.
one of the fun things about the Smash monsters so far. I know. This is weird.
I know. That's always why it was
Is that they're actually pretty cool about like seeing the monster and then seeing what the element turns into.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, like when we see like the monster that eventually becomes the hedgehog, it is like this weird Veritech fighter looking thing that's very spiky.
Right.
Yeah.
When we're seeing the one that turns into a gorilla, it is this huge, big fisted, almost like gorilla looking
Right.
thing. And what was cool about the dragon one is
Fire,
like,
right?
yeah, fire like Smash. And it doesn't look like a dragon, but there's an element of it that has that's dragon.
That's what I was
It could
like.
look like a dragon. You don't know what dragons look like.
I mean,
That's
yo,
true.
that's fair. I mean,
This is very fair.
hey, you know what? I mean, I'm sorry if I was like being
Can I
judgmental
also
on
kind
dragons
of
and
go way back and when they put Misugi in that tank, and, like you just see like the black come out of her, like in that when she's in that tank,
Oh yeah.
like that was kind of creepy a little bit.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, that was Japanese children everywhere must be terrified. You know, but
What can we do to scare Japanese children?
I feel like that's been Kamen Rider's like MO since the beginning.
Yeah.
It's like we just want to scare Japanese children just a little bit.
a little bit.
but still want them to buy the toys.
Absolutely, of course.
Like Don Armage. That's how Joe and everyone has been calling him from Q Ranger. That his new form that was revealed in the most recent episode, that will scare children. I don't know
That's
if you
true.
guys have seen
That's
it.
good.
Yeah.
No, I haven't seen Bucky Ranger yet.
Scared children. Scared me.
But let's see, Larry Newbill.
Larry
Newbill. I'm so sorry.
Neri Lubo.
He says he feels like it's gonna be episode 6 where
Yes.
we get the new rider.
Yeah.
Ooh, let's
Um,
take bets.
You
What
seen?
episode?
Oh yeah, let's
We'll have a
do
poll.
that.
Let's have a poll. Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone in the comments too, like when you watch this, I want to hear when you think the secondary rider is going to show up. I'm going to say, you know what? I'm going to agree. 6.
I'll say 5.
I'm gonna be daring. I'm gonna say 10.
Wow.
I'm gonna assume that far.
I'll go 7.
7.
Okay.
Let's say.
So and then let's see. I just had it.
they've done a
Yasin
lot of,
Bullhan
like-
said the best part of the microwave gag is that Banjo always screams before he jumps away, and it's hilarious.
Yes.
And then he hugs Sendo.
Let's see. Any other kind of? We'll go through more comments a little bit.
Yeah.
but-
So what happens at the end of this episode is that we finally see the reporter again, and she's like, "So you're Nabishima?
Yeah.
Nabishima? So we found out who he is, and it's the cop that was in the first episode
Yeah, this
that
is the guard, the jail guard.
Yeah.
Who put Banjo to sleep.
with the syringe of power. And
No. So here's actually how it happened. They Googled the name and they found a picture, and then the reporter comes in. And it's like, oh yeah, I got your security guard. Here's what he looks like, and it's the same guy.
No. She brought both photos with him.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
I was paying
I was
attention.
like, what? What are you talking about?
That's how I would have done it.
He's making up his fan fiction for when he ships with the reporter.
We're talking facts, bro.
Tumblr. It was-
Facts
so-
and theories.
This is for my Tumblr. I'm sorry.
But yeah, so that's how this episode ends. We get a preview of the next episode, and
I didn't watch that.
You didn't see it?
No, I skipped the previews.
So do you know?
Go ahead.
Okay.
All right.
So we get a preview of what looks like Gatling and Hawk, which apparently is the new best match, and it looks cool. His eye is literally a Gatling gun. And he has hawk wings. I'm like, what is this monstrosity?
I'm in.
Like if I woke up at in the middle of the night at the foot of my bed and I saw that, I would shit myself.
He looks like an angel gun. That's what he looks like. Yeah.
Yeah. If an angel was a gun.
Yeah.
I think I saw the form was like gray on one side and like orange on the other.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I
That's
saw
the one.
that side.
It looks really cool. I'm excited for it.
Speaking of like weird forms, last week we asked, what would be some cool combinations?
Oh yeah.
I didn't really see any on the other chat, but a friend of mine sent me a message. He said turtle helicopter.
Oh.
And that just sounded hilarious. I don't know how it's gonna work, but it sounded hilarious to me. So
I'm
decided to
into
share it.
that. I'm into. It's like a big shell.
I
And a
hope
big
so.
shell and
And
it's just a giant helicopter blade on
Just
one arm.
propellers on the back.
That sounds awesome.
Toey, if you're listening, do it.
Yeah, right?
Please give me a turtle helicopter. I need that so bad.
So I wanted to ask you guys, because I thought about this after we ended stream last week. So leading up to this, every single rider had their number gimmick. Like Decade was 1, Double was 2, O's was 3. This would be 9, right? I believe.
10, right? Because this is 20.
Or, yeah. Okay, hold on. Okay.
Think about it more until it's
Decade, Double, O's, Forze,
Wizard.
Wizard, Gaim, Drive.
Ghost.
Ghost.
Excited.
X-Aid.
So yeah, this would be 10.
Oh, hey.
Okay, so I want to know where the 10 is.
It's the X. It's the diagonal on him.
Is there 10 lines
Well,
on
I
him?
mean, like, because, like, you know how, like, he's built diagonally?
Yeah.
I'm assuming it's, like, the X that would kind of form from the diagonal on him.
Oh.
You know what I mean?
You know,
Yeah, because X is the Roman numeral for 10.
Yeah.
here's another interesting thought.
That's kind of cool.
Double. Kamen Rider Double. What's the nut letter after double? W-X.
Why?
Why? So I'm seeing one of the things we've talked about a lot is like Build looks a lot like Double.
Yeah.
To the point when I'm starting to wonder if that's intentional.
Yeah. Because, oh yeah, and they also know the name Kamen Rider, you know, in this universe.
Like Double.
Because, yeah, they gave him the name Kamen Rider. And what
Yeah.
if that's an actual, like...
It's something I've been thinking about, and we mentioned earlier, like when the reporter does the win-win thing, like, oh wait, that's a
Double!
Ideally, this is at least in the Double universe.
That would be kind of cool.
It'd be interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. And also, if we're talking about like 10 years,
Yeah.
10 Rider shows after, and Double was the first, right? No, Decade.
Yeah.
Then Double. Yeah. It's something to think about. Yeah, I don't know, but there's a lot of weird correlations between Double and Build that
Yeah.
I'm starting to catch on to, and I'm wondering,
If that's more than just a coincidence.
yeah, no, for sure.
So we have a few more combinations in the comments. Yassine said, porcupine and skateboard. Porcupine would be a lot like hedgehog, I think.
It would.
Yeah, I think it'd be...
Maybe more spikes, though.
Maybe shoots the spikes.
Ooh.
Ooh.
like Spike from X-Men Evolution.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then skateboard, I'm not 100% sure how that would work.
Well, I kind of like the idea of a spiky rider on a skateboard. I think that visual is like almost like I need to see that like right now.
Like this is not something I will settle for fan art. No, I need to see.
In this show.
I need to see this
Yesterday.
happen.
Someone
Yeah.
build this.
Someone built. I need that in the show, and I need that toy.
Someone build this right now.
Mighty Action Lou said, orca plus shuttle. Like a space shuttle? Okay.
That sounds like
That would be a big rider.
I was gonna say that sounds huge.
That would be a big rider.
Maybe like has echo sounds, like a echo
Like echolocation thing?
Yeah.
That sounds kind of cool.
Yeah,
The colors.
it's
would be
more
cool,
rider
too.
than man. That's
It'd probably be black and
Ooh,
white.
it'd
most
be
likely.
kind of like
Yeah.
with X-Aid's Maximum Mighty, where he's in a big suit, like a mech suit.
You've lost me.
watermelon arms. and
Oh,
guns.
yes,
There we
yeah,
go.
no, okay. That sounds like a Kamen Rider wrecking again.
Then we have
Watermelon.
we have wolf plus motorcycle.
What was it?
Wolf
Wolf?
and motorcycle.
Motorcycle. What if his?
I'm more
motorcycle
down
was
with
a wolf?
grasshopper motorcycle.
then
Wolf
we have,
though. I want a wolf combo. That sounds good with
You
sushi.
said
then
watermelon.
Larry
I thought you were
Newbill
talking about,
said-
like a best match, like watermelon something. I think we were gonna say something else.
No. But I can see.
Oh
where
man,
you're bringing it to.
watermelon and God, what would
I was gonna
watermelon
say,
count as though? Organic or inorganic?
It's organic. He grows
organic.
from the floor.
Yeah, that's I know, but like,
Darrel, have you been to a science class? at all?
what science?
Well,
It's in the show.
you watched the
It's in
show.
Then Larry Newbill said cheetah plus drill. Ooh, that'd be kind of cool.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah,
That would be dope.
Yeah.
drill,
Best match.
best match.
Yeah.
Yeah!
Like the drill can have like a cheetah roar, like.
And then
That would actually be cool. That'd be really cool.
Yassine said snail and Roomba. That would be really impractical, but I want to see it.
This seems like something. Oh my god, if that happens throughout the series, like say he gets 2, it's like, oh man, best match, and he does it, and he's like so excited, and it's like the worst possible thing.
He moves like really slow, unless he's on the floor cleaning.
like it is the best match, but they're both useless on their own. So this is the best they could possibly do.
I'm imagining the scene because my brain's just okay. Imagine this is him, and it's just like. Bing, bing, bing.
But he has to rotate. So every time he goes,
What if it's like the best worst match? Like when it says best worst match.
go away.
You know, I wonder if that's actually like a sound on the driver. Well, like if you combine it, it's like worst match.
What are you doing with your life? What? Put me down. Return me immediately. What do you mean? Take me back to the store.
I love that the belt asks, "What are you doing with your life?"
What are you doing with me?
Go to night class.
We have Andrew Suarez said whale plus submarine.
Okay,
So just an aquatic thing.
it's
but
a big aquatic thing.
Yeah.
yeah.
He's fighting a water smash.
Yeah. There it is. It's a wet smash, and I knew that was gonna get him. I knew that was gonna work.
I'm sorry. This is just Japan. Why Smash? Of all the things you could have named them. So we have Shield and Tricera, and I feel like that could be a really cool thing, and that's a throwback to like a bunch of different like Kamen Riders and Sentais and stuff.
That would be cool. Yeah,
All dinosaur Sentai.
Yeah.
We have Mustang plus fire.
I get it. Roy Mustang, because
Oh, I thought it was like a Rapidash for Pokemon.
You think you're funny?
I'm hilarious. I am hilarious. My mom told me so.
My mom says I'm a catch.
I built my humor to be this way. Yeah, like these are all like really cool. Let's see. Snail Roomba.
I'm gonna point this out there. That might be my favorite. So far.
I'm gonna ask. I'm gonna post it on Twitter, and I want to see if anyone fan arts that.
Oh my god, please.
That would be.
I want to see if anyone like Ninja X Manga.
What?
So Ninja and manga. Manga being.
What if it's a typo? It's like Ninja plus Manga.
The only thing that comes to mind, have any of you seen Naruto? Freaking what's his name? Sai. Yeah, Sai. The guy that can paint things.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I'm like,
Okay.
I mean, that sounds cool in my head, but then that sounds like Forze's pen or brush or whatever.
Oh yeah.
I think it was pen.
It was a brush. It was which I think that was like a cool one that he used once.
Yeah, he never used it again. It was super impractical too, but I mean, it did things.
It did things.
Doing stuff.
So what would you name? What would you rate this episode? Like, as like the second episode of this series?
What did I give last week? I think I gave it an 8. This would be like an 8.5.
Yeah.
I don't think it's like the best episode we're gonna get, but they packed so much.
They did a lot.
That it would have definitely benefited from being like a 2-parter, especially with the girlfriend part.
Yeah.
Because it would have given us more time to kind of digest her and like her more. So when we lost her, it would have hit a lot harder.
Yeah,
I agree.
And it would have definitely helped out with the pacing because there was so much going on.
It's like the show's kind of in a rush to give you everything.
to get to a certain spot, and I'm wondering what that spot is.
Yeah.
You know, that they're trying to get to and rush like so far to get. And so yeah, I think I gave it like an 8 last time, and I'm probably gonna give it like 8 this time. Because there was just so much, and again it felt rushed, but at the same time I sort of didn't. So
What do you guys give it? Put it in the comments. In the meantime, let's go over one of the comments from last week.
Yeah, actually, I wanted to bring this up. One of the comments that I think this is after we went live.
Yes.
This comment went from Andrew Suarez,
I like that guy.
and we
Yeah.
all right. Is he
Andrew.
cool?
No, he's not.
Oh, well.
He'll spend $80 on a beanie.
Never mind. All right, no.
I'm not even going to embarrass you on air. I'm sorry. All right,
I didn't edit it for you.
Anyway,
We love you, Andrew.
do we?
I never met you. Say what up. I got no opinion of you whatsoever. So last week, I think I brought up the fact that like Foundation X hasn't been mentioned quite a bit. Hasn't been mentioned in a while. But Andrew actually brought up the fact that Foundation X was mentioned and shown a bit in an X8 special during the debut of the Night Safari Gashat. Into which I go, Jimmy, why didn't you know that?
I haven't seen it yet.
Night Safari.
Yeah, I haven't seen the side ones. I don't have it in there. Night Safari's not in there. It's one of those specials. I haven't bought most of the movie ones.
You're
But
the X8 guy.
For someone that talks a lot about X8, you know, what was that?
I was gonna put the whole thing in my mouth.
Oh, so did you like what I did?
He also might not know what Foundation X
That's
is
true,
because he's only seen X8.
I mean, that's fair.
Oh, that's true. You
so-
don't really know the significance behind,
I know it's important now.
yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
They're the new Shocker. Apologies also, guys, if you hear, like, Nerf gun sounds in the background. One of our producers.
Doesn't know when we're live. Chester.
But yeah,
You like what I give to you? This is a new weapon. by the way.
technically it should be, like, for...
Oh, you're correct. I am.
Yeah.
Give me that. Give me that. I'll make that better.
Hold on. Anyway, so the next comment we have, while he's doing... Yeah.
There it is.
Blackwing 2040. My first introduction to Kamen Rider was Kamen Rider Dragon Knight, and only got to see one episode when it was airing, but I was able to find the whole series, and I'm enjoying it a lot. Build is my first official Kamen Rider season I started watching. Once I finish Dragon Knight, I'm going to start watching Kuga. I feel like jumping on the Kamen Rider bandwagon. It's never too late.
It's never too late. I started with X8, and now I'm here. So, you know,
Started
you're
at
all right.
the bottom, now he's here.
I think starting at Ghost would have been at the bottom.
But yeah.
Anyway, so yeah,
He has very strong opinions about Kuga. So...
I love Kuga. I think Kuga's great, and really sophisticated and a little more adult than some of your Rider shows you're watching currently. In Dragon Knight, I know that's Ryuki.
Yes.
That's the adaptation of Ryuki. So even Kuga is more intense than what you're going to be watching in Dragon Knight. I hope you like it, because Kuga became one of my favorite shows. Be patient with it. It's it's a lot slower paced than current shows.
Most earlier Heisei shows are just very hard. Like,
Yeah.
Faiz, you know, has an amazing following, and from what I understand, is one of the best. But it was so hard for me to, like, follow it, and I'm still not done with it, because it's just like, oh, this is so old.
And belts don't talk nearly as much, if at all,
Yeah.
during Kuga.
I
So-
think the first one that started talking in Heisei was, it was either Blade? I think it was Blade.
Look at me.
Was it Blade?
Because all
Was
it said
Blade-
was turn up.
Was Blade the one of the first talking belts that really wouldn't shut up?
You could say that.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Let's go with Blade.
Yeah, turn up, and that was really it. And then it was like King mode or whatever other thing. But yeah, they're just hard. So fun fact, really quick about Dragon Knight. So I took a lot of stunt classes, and so I do stunts and all this other stuff. And I walked into a class, and there was this guy that was teaching everything, and he needed a demonstration partner. So I did a punch, and he like flipped me, and I like landed on my back. I was like, oh, that hurt. The next day, I was like, why does this guy look so familiar? And so I Googled him. It was the actor, I forget who, Mark Musashi, Kamen Rider Wing Knight. I got defeated by a Kamen Rider. It was the greatest, like, oh my god, I got beat up by a Kamen Rider. That's awesome.
That's super cool. I can't say that.
Yeah.
That is pretty cool.
I was wondering why he looked so familiar when I walked in. I was like, why have I seen you before? But yeah.
So let's go back to the comments. Larry Newbill gave it an 8 out of 10.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, sounds about right.
Yeah.
That's what we gave him, more or less.
Yeah, Yassine said a solid 8 out of 10, if not a 9. I think every episode so far has been fantastic.
Considering there's only 2.
The cast has been great, and the mystery behind Night Rogue and his experiments has been intriguing. I agree. It's definitely a reason why I'm just gonna keep watching, and it's not because I have to do the show. Like, I legit am looking forward to the next episode. So yeah,
Yeah.
those are the 2 ratings. And then Marshall said, Many early series in this generation of writers are slower, but it feels worth it. I missed that tone.
Yeah,
I'm 100% agreeing with you on that. Yeah.
That's one of the things I was really looking forward to about Build, because when they first started it, they were saying that we wanted to go back to the early Heisei Showa feel of things, and I can sort of feel that kinda. Mixed in with all the newer gimmicks, and it's it's a nice refreshing feel, because everything so far has been like buy the toys, buy the toys, buy the toys, buy the toys, and it's like we get it. It's cool, I guess, to an extent, but then it would just I like the fact that how subtle's the wrong word, but these bottles are very okay, done, crank. All right, let's go.
I do like that the henshin was a lot shorter in this.
Oh, it was a lot faster.
As I suspected. Yeah.
And then Matty Action Lou says he gives it a solid 8. Oh, he gives it solid. He gives it an 8.5 out of 10.
Mm-hmm.
I think Yassine said, I agree with Mars Girls. There was a very different feel to the early Heisei shows. Felt more like a J-drama. I actually think Build feels a bit like those early Heisei shows.
Yes. And that kind of makes sense, because the guy who is the head writer of Build wrote the J-drama that got me into J-dramas, Densha Otoko.
Oh, I've heard of that, actually.
Yeah, and that is one of my all-time favorite shows. So when I heard he was doing Build, I'm like, I don't even know how to imagine.
Yes!
I don't even know what that's going to be like. And I can see that. And I think that's coming from the fact that he's a writer. I was reading this good interview from that was translated in TokuNet,
right?
In which he was pointing out the fact that he's
TokuNet.
Same.
Sorry.
Is that he brought up the fact that he grew up loving Heisei Showa writers, but then he was watching Heisei writers with his kids, and he discovered how much he enjoyed watching Heisei shows, and he was like, I kind of bummed that I missed all this Heisei stuff. So when they offered me Build, I'm like, I really want to kind of combine the both of it to a certain degree, and that's, I feel like, the right mixture.
It's the best match.
It's the best match. Ooh, good tie-in.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So before we wrap up, let's kind of go to the chat one more time and give everyone who joined us a quick shout out. So from the top, we got Mars Girl, who was in here earlier. Ryan Super 04 Steel Speed. He was in here too.
I think he left.
It's
okay.
Thank you for dropping by. Thank you for dropping by. Thanks to Jezzer, who was also in here. Sasuke Yuzawa. Thank you. Josh. Thank you. Let's see who else. Yassine, thank you. Who else is in here? Larry, thank you so much. Am I missing anyone? Mighty Action Lou, thanks. Thank you. Let's see. I think that's pretty much it, who was in the chat. Even if you weren't in the chat, thank you for watching. It means a lot.
Yeah. If you really liked what you see here, please share this around, because we're going to keep going until the series is over, and hopefully beyond that. Because Kamen Rider, there's a lot of Kamen Rider that we need to get through. So hopefully, and then I want to know what comes next, because this is the last, we got a correction at Heisei Rider. I've always said Heisei, but Heisei Rider. So what's next? So hopefully we'll get to that point. But yes, this is the part of the show where we do our shameless plugs. So who wants to start?
I guess I'll start. We'll go this way. So if you like me, or you like my face, I guess, you can find me on Twitter, Instagram at GLJimmy, or this is all mine. If you like my props,
or you liked my props,
or you can find me at angelgloveradio.com and the associated social media with that. So,
you guys can find me on where am I? Instagram, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Darrel J Delphin. I'm also on that hashtag show. Couple shows throughout the week. If you like this, you're probably gonna like me on there. And I'm also a voice actor, so keep watch for stuff like that. And
hi, you can find me on Twitter at Justin Quizon, JustinQuizon. Just make sure you know that. And my Instagram at Justin Quiz. I have 2 podcasts. If you like me talking on this show, one is a Steven Spielberg podcast called Benview on Spielberg. The other one is a podcast about movie remakes called Nothing New. You can find those on, I guess I have to call it, Apple Podcasts now. And
You're not gonna get sued for that?
And hey, if you like Kamen Rider, because clearly that's why you're here, I have a Kamen Rider inspired webcomic called Shining Yusha.
Shining Yusha!
Thank you. That's so cool that you say it like that.
Shining no Yusha! I don't know what else.
It's okay. Don't worry. You can find our comic on Facebook and on Tumblr, and you can find us on Twitter. So that is all my shiz. JD?
You can find me on all social media as lit324. So that's it.
And then on that hashtag show, he's usually behind the camera.
Yeah. I feel very much like Jon Snow and like Daenerys, where there's like, oh, this is
spoilers,
the breaker
spoilers.
And Jon Snow's like, this is Jon Snow.
Great. So one more rating before we head out. So Andrew Suarez, who's on here, he gives it a 4.5 out of 5. Would have thought they expended more on the girl who purifies the bottle that builds get. So yeah, maybe next episode. And so also Marshall said thanks. All great to see you guys again. So thank you to literally everyone in the chat, all of the viewers, and even if you were only here for a bit, thanks for watching. And if you're watching this after the fact, thank you as well. So
please leave a comment on some of your best matches.
Keep giving us best matches. They're fantastic.
I love reading those.
Those are great. Keep sending those in because those are my favorite. So
like all your fan theories and stuff, and then like the more we have, the more we're gonna have to talk about next time. So please leave your comments after the stream ends, because if you put them now, we're not gonna be able to read them. Yeah. So yes, really looking forward to the next episode, and I hope to see you guys there. Pop Culture Renegades out.
All right, good night.
Good night.
Bye.
See ya.
We need to come up with a thing.
Yep.